Enlightenment. I've talked about the fact that the higher truths are inevitably based on fun, based on love, based on joy, and intelligent expressions of well-being because it's fun, because the combination of pleasure and pain are both steering human consciousness inevitably towards competency at creating well-being. And anyone who can create well-being with competent certainty is going to choose well-being over unnecessary suffering, is going to choose excellence over mediocrity, is going to choose beauty over ugliness, joy and innocence over cynicism and bitterness, because it's fun. And because fun is a self-evident value. No one who has mastery and certainty prefers fun to, or prefers mediocrity to fun. And so then we come into the kind of equation of why we have so much unnecessary suffering. And there is an ecology where the environment produces the individual and the individual produces the environment. The innocence of an infant has tremendous potential. It is the stem cell of the psyche and can take any form whatsoever. But it takes the form of the cult. It forms the language of the cult, the thought structures of the cult, the value hierarchy of the cult and the family system, not because it's fun. It's just less traumatic, and the individual is incapable of self-generating its own language, its own culture, its own survival, security, love and belonging, and self-esteem without any assistance, and so there's an attunement to the status quo. What I think enlightenment is the generation of an independent state. It is the connection with the more real world, with its templates of ideals, those typical lighthouses of values that we never attain but that guide us on our journey, that someone who is enlightened has pierced the veil of the illusion to such an extent that they do not require the illusion to be a certain way in order to generate and sustain their own state. Now, all of us can do that at a dark level, meaning we can look at perfectly magnificent realities and be cynical about them, and we can hold that state. We can hold the state of bitterness in the face of innocence. We can hold the face of cynicism in the face of joy. We have that power. But it is a low common denominator. What we don't have is the power to generate and hold the state of joy, of fun, of exuberance, of generosity in the face of the illusion. And so when someone throws the illusion at us hard, rapes our granddaughter, steps on our toe, slaps us in the face on purpose, makes poorly, jokes in poor taste at our expense, insults our masculinity, whatever it is, then we lose the high state. Meaning, for most of us, our high states are dependent on the right amount of alcohol, the taxi showing up on time, the wife saying something nice for a change, things like that. And so we say, okay, I feel good because of the mathematics of the illusion. I feel good because my wife smiled at me, because strangers have been smiling at me, because my employees showed up on time, because I got a tax credit, et cetera, et cetera. So I feel good because of the illusion. And certainly, and I feel bad because of the illusion. What do you expect? My car just got totaled. My back is broken. Of course I feel bad because of the illusion. And it is an inevitability that the density of the illusion will catch up and reflect the competency to generate and embody the ultimate truths of beauty, truth, goodness, fun, pleasure, the higher truths of unlimited abundance. This will inevitably be generated in the reality because of the way the game is set up to win. Meaning pain is telling you when you're off course, and joy and fun is telling you when you're on course. And it's just a matter of learning the heuristic map, etc., to get out of this kind of difficult terrain where you do this and it's fun for a moment and then it gets worse. You go down the left turn and it's downhill for a little bit, but then there's a really steep hill and then there's a dead end. We're in that kind of terrain where short-term, unsustainable fun is often pitted with long-term sustainable fun, and so the map is a little bit cloudy. But enlightenment is referencing a transcendent state. It's referencing a transcendent future, a future that is not of this time and place. It is of the future, a truth that is not of this time and place. It is one of the higher truths that we will manifest in time, meaning if you forward to the end of the DVD, we all live happily ever after because we set it up that way. We set it up so that pain would be more painful than joy, and we set it up that we liked joy more than pain. And so pain is inevitably a short-term detour. It can go on for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, but it is a short-term detour towards the higher truth that we are all capable. We have the potential to generate a luminous future, a luminous possibility. 1, it's within the possibility field. 2, we're all learning to have success and learning to have fun. We're all becoming more competent at living the higher truths. And reality, through pain and pleasure, both, we're learning all the time, from one side or the other, which way to steer the reality. And yet we can part the veil of the illusion. And in the end, our most luminous self, our most beautiful future, our highest potential is waiting for us with abundance, with joy, with innocence, with competency that is destined by the mathematical formula of reality. And when we create our state from that truth, it is piercing the veils. It is a form of enlightenment. When we create our truths from the illusion around us, it is normal consciousness. I'm angry because you slapped me. Versus, this is an illusion. And whether you slap me or not, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy to give up on this totality. And much more likely, you don't slap me because I represent what you're longing to be, what we are becoming, what we're longing to become.